Hey guys, I'm going to do one more video here for Tour 7. Should be more of a beginner's video here. I will show you my current setup, just so you remember what I've been using here. It's nice that I have a rapier and a claw, Nirvana of course. It's nice to have those clubs. In terms of, I definitely believe you should be using Extra Mile, and I definitely believe you should be using Guardian, with essentially no exceptions. In terms of long iron, Backbone, Goliath, or Saturn, not much difference. You have a little bit more power with Goliath, but you also don't need it with that Guardian. You'll be able to stop the ball and hit good shots with that. Claw, Hornet. Of course, if you have Thorn, any of those three right now are going to be working pretty good for you. Thorn, Hornet, or Claw. In terms of a wedge, if you have a skewer, you can be using that. If you wanted to focus on dunk shots, you could be using this. But again, that might not be the best for this. It might be getting a little bit too late to use the down in one. It's probably better to be using skewer or rapier right now, with a backup being a dart if you absolutely have to. In terms of a rough iron, if you don't have Nirvana, Razor is your go-to. Even at Tour 1, I could still get away using that club right now. So that, or possibly if you have off-road or unlocked, one of those three, if at all possible, is what you want to be using. In terms of a sand wedge, you could probably get away with Malibu. I'm going with Sahara just for the extra couple yards. Of course, in this whole Tour 7 that you've seen, I've probably been in maybe one bunker. So we're talking about stuff that I'm really trying to avoid having to use anyway. So these are just as precautionary advice that I'm trying to give you, more than anything. Because I really don't think that you guys are going to be too worried about being in the bunker in the rough if you can execute. That's kind of the goal here. So just hit your marks. So don't get too carried away. You're going to see with the shot I'm about to hit, I'm going to keep it kind of close to where I can go perfect or great, I'm hoping, and still pull this shot off. But you see, I'm not going to do anything special here. No extra power, nothing like that. Of course, I released probably far too early. I am actually going to hit the bunker. It's just talking about how I have not been playing foolish, and then all of a sudden it seems like, so what I usually have is I usually have like a slight delay to where when I release, it doesn't necessarily release on the instant that I release. So I've been releasing early on this account, and on that time, for whatever reason, the early release didn't even seem to take into effect there. There seemed to be no extra time given. So not really too sure as to why that happens. I'm still going to try to get my birdie like you've been seeing me do, even with this mistake. And that's one of the reasons that I'm playing Sahara right now, is to still be able to get this down here. And you've already seen with the Guardian that I have, I'm going to have to press a little bit because I feel like I'm going to have to split the difference here. So I feel like I'm going to need extra power at some point. And I might need to use, half here and half on the Guardian shot. So, relatively close to perfect. That should be good enough to keep it in the fairway, I'm hoping. And it is. And I'm hoping that that's far enough down there that I can still salvage. Now, had I been using Razor, I'd be giving up at least 10 yards. I might not be able to afford to give up 10 yards there. So you really might need to get it down to where I am. Same with Malibu here. This guy, and they actually pointed his wind straight down. He got kind of lucky. But it's the same type of thing. His is a lot more accurate, though. So he doesn't even have to hit perfect here. But so he's taking a really precautious approach here. I feel like he could have, pressed the limits a little bit and hit a little bit farther, but I don't know what clubs he's playing. He might not need to go any farther than that, whereas I do. That's the big difference. So you see that I am plenty fine, so the risk was worth it. And I'm going to try to go at this with full backspin and just try to get that second bounce, more or less, right in front of the hole. Maybe right in here. So I'm actually going to point it maybe more towards the beginning of this fairway, right in here. And then I might just, if anything, on accident, overplay this wind, which I'm considering an entire ring will be overplaying the wind. So let's go at it like that. Perfect ball. Oh, it just checked up in front of the hole. Ah, man, I had that going right on line. So this guy also has a Guardian. I'm assuming he can get it to the same point as me, or very close. Of course, you don't have to hit the shot that I just did. I recommend the backspin shot if you can, but as an alternate, this will be a nice alternate shot for him. Would be going at it with 2 bars of backspin, which is exactly how I play it, and then right off the corner of that fairway. Now the only difference here, I would do it with curl or more side spin than that, and I would actually go for this shot, where I feel like he's not going for it, he's just hitting it into the bulk of the green there, doing nothing fancy. As you see, I am uploading right now parts 1 and 2 of this tour, and then this will be part 3 will be my final hole for this. Unless you guys really feel that you need some more content, I am not going to go out of my way to provide more rambling and more duplicate holes and winds, just so you guys can see a couple more wind types and the same holes over and over again. So it's pretty hard to eagle this anyway. The one thing that you want to do is you want to stack your cards to where, so you see I can make a mistake in that bunker. Still got the birdie. So it's manageable to make the mistake where I did. So this is a little bit harder wind. I'm interested in seeing this guy's approach. See if he can pull it off. You're going to see me go at it like this. I like when there's slope. I like rotating my screen this way. I think it's a little bit easier to see how much I'm pulling. And I'm going to try to go at least 2 rings here. And then I might actually try to do just a little bit of counter as well. Oh, that really frustrates me that I hit that there. I've been really trying to focus on getting my perfect balls. And hopefully this guy, he's trying to do something similar to me. Even with that wind, I would go 8 bars. I think he has enough to go 8 rings here, a backspin. I think that's the shot that... So, if you have the ability to do it, do it. He's going to do it more of the way that I don't like seeing guys play it, which is more off the fairway. I feel like this is a little bit more inconsistent. He's playing it right off the short end of the club. Of course, he hit a great ball. You can already see it's coming out here right. He's not going to be able to hold this. It's so funny that you see a guy, after he just seen me basically put it right on the hole a certain way and has the ability to just shot copy me and aim a few inches less. Like, even though we didn't have identical winds, he could have aimed just a little bit over and hit a very similar shot. I must have forgot to open that other chest because I didn't see another one come in. Another unlock is still in progress. Okay. There's the sniper I've been looking for, and there's Razor as well, so that's good. I can start to get that Razor going. One more Razor, I'm already up to a 2. So, Razor could potentially pass my Nirvana at some point. So if I keep getting Razors and not Nirvana, that could be a good thing. And Sniper, I just got what, maybe like 12 of those or something? That's pretty good. I needed to get that at that rate, maybe like 8 more times in a silver chest like that. And I'll have it to the next level. And I really want to get that up to the next level to have it for a couple of these tournament holes. Now I'm going to try to also get my Guardian up. I want at least 2 more levels on my Guardian. So I might, I have a couple days. I have till Monday for Monday's opening round for the tournament. If you guys are following the tournament, definitely want to compete for the tournament. Definitely a smart thing to do. We got plenty of wind here. I feel like we can maybe go for that other side. I don't know if it's worth the risk without going for, I probably would have to put on a Titan. It's probably worth the risk, to be honest with you, to do this. I don't think I'm going to have to go full. And I will do full curl. Probably half power. Somewhere in there, and try to concentrate or get close to perfect. I was a little early. I don't think it's going to be the difference between hitting the out of bounds. Oh, but I hit the bunker. So, one of the things about putting a Titan on, I should still be able to get to the green from that bunker. So it shouldn't be the end of the world. But I do have to worry about this guy, especially, wow, he has a Apocalypse 1 already. Crazy. This guy's 700 games in, has Apocalypse 1. Didn't even go for it. It's craziness. If I had Apocalypse 1, my ball would be on the green right now. I cannot believe he didn't go for it. I hope he doesn't think he's going to beat me outright. I'm still going to be able to get on here. Okay, so the shot that I'm going to do is maybe a little bit different from what I would typically do. You're going to see me maybe do it with some front spin. Maybe do it like this. Maybe aim for, let me see what it looks like here. So maybe this looks pretty good right here for a target line. And then I'm assuming as bad as my accuracy is, maybe like a ring. Maybe a shade over for a 3.7. I go just a tiny bit, just to be protective of the bunker, just in case I do shank. Which I didn't. So let's see how this comes down this hill. You can already tell I'm probably missing left. So my aim wasn't the best. But you can see with the extra Titan, that's one of the reasons to kind of go for that there. Even with my shank. I've been releasing a little early. I think my timing is a little bit different right now for whatever reason than it normally is. Seems to be. Look at that. Running right through. Hits the collar and it stays on the green. Wow. How about that for luck? But look what I forced this guy to use another one of his mummies, which is crazy. Big waste of balls there. You should be saving those balls for the tournament. If you have some from last tournament, wow, look at that. That didn't show at all on the ball trail. That was crazy. I didn't realize how hard it was to actually see the hole over that mound there. You can't really see what you're doing. It's so funny that I hit a perfect ball and it was a lip in. So I'm assuming I should have a good chance on the shootout, especially with Guardian. Having Guardian on this is crucial. Not essential. You can still do this with Sniper. So you're going to see this guy, he should still be able to execute this. He just has to hit it a lot closer to the rough than you want to. So the way I can play it is a little bit more safe. If this guy hits it in there tight, I'm going to have to be real cautious with how I play it. If he's in here tight. Which kind of where I see some inconsistent bounces is kind of where he was playing it. So if I can do this with a little bit more backspin, a little bit of left curl like this, I think it comes in pretty nice. You're going to see me kind of go at it like this, as opposed to what you just saw him do. I feel like if this is kind of my landing zone to kind of beat him. It's kind of if I can make it land here. So I'm right at the top end of this club. I might go right around 3 rings here for that. And of course, had to be the time that I put. I'm hoping that pull doesn't cost me. It's going to be close. I think it did. I think he's just inside me. I don't remember, but I think he's inside my ball. Oh, barely. See that? So that baby shank I hit almost cost me that hole. It was that close. I would have been inside had I not pulled that left. So as you can see, my shot is a little bit easier, I feel. It just kind of will be more of like a stop shot to where you hit it off that fairway. Of course, if I would have hit a perfect ball, probably would have been stopping right around the hole. Look at that, another sniper. Now I'm starting to get back in the rhythm with the snipers. It's 2 in a row. I just got 24 cards. Almost makes me wish I was opening golds, because it probably would have been 40 cards. Okay, this is good. I don't think we've played this hole on this tour yet. I don't even think I've gotten this hole, to be honest with you, since I've been... That's how many holes they have that I can play this tour this much. And I've never even played this one on this entire playthrough yet, which is crazy. It's crazy. What else is crazy is the shot selection that guy chose. Do not, under any circumstance, ever go about playing this hole that way. It's the biggest baffling shot I've ever seen. Realistically, in the early tours, before you have any sense of accuracy, the way to play this hole is to lay up and then shoot it over the trees, to be honest with you. This is a gamble, but it's not a costly gamble. Getting it through those trees, the worst thing you can do is put it level with the trees. So that's one of the reasons that him beating it, you could argue, isn't the most tragic shot in the world. But if you lay it back here and hit it short of the trees, you can go at this from this side. Now, the only question is, did I lay back far enough? and we'll find out if that's the case or not. Otherwise, you're going to see me get very creative on my next shot. But kind of the only reason that you can justify what he did is he made sure that he was out of the trees entirely. When you put your top spin on and hit it into the trees, it top spins forward. Whereas if you're slow rolling it, you could get caught up and be under the trees if it hits the rough just wrong. So it's one of the good parts. Is now the question is, did I lay back far enough? Which it looks like I barely did. So you can see where I am, where that marker is. You want to stay, if you're doing this, you want to stay even shorter than where I am right now. So I will be good. And it looks like here would be kind of my ideal like spin up forward. So with a 9-mile-per-hour wind, I'm going to go at least 5 rings. Be on the safe side. And I'm going to do full curl here. Perfect ball, and you can see it just curves right in between there. It is going to come in a little bit hot, I know that. But what you want to do is make sure that you don't roll back down that hill. So I'm not really terrified about hitting it where I did. I wasn't too worried about making it. I just wanted to make sure that first and foremost, I'm not down the hill, which leaves me with a putt that I can't make, and I'm not dead. So we are definitely going to the tiebreaker hole, without question. If you see how big small that bullseye is, I have a lot of margin of error here. I don't have to hit perfect. I really don't even probably have to hit great. And it'll still manage to go in. This game on this video loves making me go first, I'll tell you. You would think these guys would be shot copying me and just hitting it closer than me. The fact that they aren't is kind of comical, to be honest with you. Okay, so for a second hop, I'm going to try to make it land on the hole, which is going to be more like here. So I'm going to play for this with a 7.5. I am going to do at least 2 full rings minimum, which will be, I'll be going into the blue just a touch. Let's see what we got here. And it looks like it wasn't enough. I should have went 3 full because I was definitely short. Of course, that shank hurt me. 4 yards isn't a very good shot, so I underplayed that wind without question. I mean, you could just see where it landed. I was going longer than that, so why would it be short? So this guy has a pretty easy to beat on me here with sniper. Ooh, actually he's in between clubs with Titan. I didn't notice that. So he'll do his 4 backspin. He still will be fine. He can do 4 backspin here and still get the win on me. It would be an even easier shot if he had a navigator on, because he could just take it off that fairway with just like 2 or 3 bars and just land it on the short end of the fairway and just let it naturally roll up there. This way, the way he's doing it right now, he's kind of got to execute his shot a little bit, but he still should have no problem getting it within 4. So that's kind of the downside to my mistake, is it's almost impossible to recover from. That's the one time that, you know, the Guardian's going to outmatch. It's going to be outmatched by the sniper if you don't execute and hit your full ball. But plus, in addition to that, you can see I underplayed that wind. So underplaying that wind was an absolute no-no. I needed to make sure that I played more wind than that. So I'll keep that in my memory bank for next time. knowing that, 2.5 bars on that hole with like a 7 was not enough. It was not nearly enough. It looked like I was off by about at least a ring. So let's see what this guy can do on this one. I would highly recommend not hitting it where he just said. There's a couple things I want to suggest here. It's going to be probably the one time that I do go for the Quasar. You're really going to need that little extra side spin. This is probably one of the only times you're going to see me. To be honest with you, I feel like a cautious drive here is actually better than a more cautious drive is probably actually the better approach here, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to play it off the white ring. And you see what I'm doing here? Maybe just a little extra power. I'm playing it off the right ring. And it looks like I just overplayed that. It is going to spin back into the fairway, but the second shot is going to be a brute. I don't have top spin. I can't even tell if that's sarcasm because I'm kind of screwed. I just underplayed that. Just overplayed that. This guy's kind of going to be up against it a little bit, but so am I now. So this guy really doesn't have a lot of room to talk with going into the bunker and the rough. But as you can see, I'm going to kind of be limited with what I can do here. So the way that you're going to see me probably try to play it is over here into the fairway. And maybe I'll just be able to beat this guy straight up with a pitch shot. And my timing is really bad right now. It's really horrible. So I'm really glad that there's a lot of slope there and, that doesn't cost me going into the rough. Because as bad as I've been hitting on my shots with my timing, I'm really just going through a rough patch right now. So there's two ways I can go for this. The pitch is kind of hard. I remember when we had the Wine Valley tournament, I went for the pitch. I wasn't even close. And that just leads me to believe this green's kind of messed up. Now I want to find, if I'm going to go for the dunk, I do want to find max distance at least. But look at this. I mean, this is just sick. And this is why I missed the pitch so horrendously. There's no real good target to go for it. So when that's the case, I'll just figure out what max distance is and then try to just go for this, figuring out how much to play. I'm going to do about 3 rings. I have no idea if this is even remotely correct. I just feel, based on being about mid-club, it could be about right. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And it looked just off. But it was way better option than the straight up pitch was. So it looks like we'll be getting to the tiebreaker here. And let's hope I can have a little bit better luck. Maybe they'll even let him go first for once. I feel like across the board, I don't even know if a single tiebreaker we've had thus far, if I've even been second once. So it really changes your shot when you go second. I'll hit a different shot, and here it is, first time that I'll get to see what this guy does and then adjust accordingly. So if you look at this, this is just going to be a brute hole. So the approach for him, if I was him, I would just try to hit a full ball guardian here. And I'm assuming more or less that's what he's going to try to do. It's realistically your only chance. And I'm not sure if what he's doing is enough. We're going to find out though. But I don't know if he's adding enough, which is going to essentially give me an easy win. Because I know all I have to do is hit a full ball and then make sure that it goes farther than his. So that's all it's going to take to beat this guy, is hit the same shot as him, maybe with about this much backspin, and then go full and hit the fairway. That's it. That's all it takes to win. And you saw I used too much backspin. I knew I didn't want to go full, but I thought it would run out a little bit more than that. But sure enough, that shows you how much that wind really knocks it down. I could have done like 4 bars there. Maybe 3. And it would have been probably pretty spot on. So it's good to keep that in mind for future. And it really shows you how the effects of the ball really change. And look at that, another sniper. I'm really hitting my stride right now with those things. So you're seeing me pick up a lot of sniper cards in this video. But 9 in the face there, it was a perfect example of just showing you how much. Because you saw me play it not too long ago. I just played this hole for you guys, and the shot was completely different. I'm going to switch over to Navigator here. And again, remember what I was mentioning before about not getting too aggressive. Downwind, shanked it left. I'm hoping isn't a big factor. That was my goal, was to leave enough error on right and left for a baby shank. And sure enough, 312 right down the center. So, but again, as I was saying before I was about to hit there, was about noticing how much the wind changes. Like, I did maybe like 6-7 bars of backspin there on that shot, which you saw me just pull off on the guy, and it got to the hole. And then there we get 9 in the face, and I play very similar backspin, and it's 12 yards short. So it just goes to show you. Granted, I was landing a couple yards shorter on the fairway, but we're talking a couple yards, not very much. It made the ball shot change probably 6-7 yards, I bet. So 6 or 7 yards difference is significant. So this guy got really aggressive with his. Surely you can go down there and do that, but at the same time, it's also not necessary. I can hold out on this guy with Guardian. Why can't I? So you're going to see me do it. kind of the way that I was showing you before, 2-3 bars of backspin, and then basically landing my second right around the fringe, which is what you're seeing. You're seeing me land it on the fringe. And you're going to see me play for this, maybe two-ish rings. And then maybe just a tiny bit of counter. Ah! My screen was a little glitchy that time. I'm not sure that was entirely my fault that I missed that one. So it is a little bit easier to make this with a Saturn than it is with a Guardian. Doesn't mean I can't get it with a Guardian though. So this guy, the way he's playing his wind, I don't necessarily recommend as much. It looks like he could be playing it about spot on now. I'm trying to visualize it. And if he really turn, like I can't really tell with his depth. I'm trying to think in terms of third. I honestly think he didn't pull it back enough, and this is going to be coming in too hot. His third hop's going to be too close to the hole, to be honest with you. But it was hard to tell without him spinning it. But I think this is going to be coming in a little on the hot end. And you see the third bounce right on the hole, fourth bounce. If you would have brought that in, same line, 6 yards shorter, that was probably in the hole, to be honest with you. So let's play some tiebreaker golf again. Once again, you're seeing guys, I don't know if it's me or whatever, but it's bringing out kingsmakers in these guys, and it's just like, I just don't think it's necessary. You haven't seen me use a single kingsmaker yet. I've used very few titans, 5 titans to this point. And every time that I pull one out, I think it's the difference between eagle and birdie. So, same with Navigator, to be honest with you. I mean, the reason that I'm pulling out Navigators on this, I feel like I could get, like on this one setup, I feel like I could get it. I could get that eagle on that hole with a regular ball, no question. But what is my tiebreaker going to look like? Imagine this with a 10 wind. This guy must... He is sad about this hole, so I'm assuming he doesn't have Guardian. So if I execute here and actually hit my marks, I'm assuming I'm going to have this guy kind of on the ropes a bit. So with a 5 wind, I'm going to go down at least 2.5 rings. Put it right on the front of the green there. Let's see here. Perfect ball. I'm assuming this is the one time that I hit perfect. It should be in there pretty tight. In fact, it's right at that deadly spot. There's a hill right there. It could just roll down and just be spot on. So this guy has a sniper. It looks like he's also in between clubs a bit. If he wants to beat me, he's going to have to do it with Saturn. Which he can beat me with Saturn. He just doesn't know that he can. So let me walk you through the shot that you've seen from my other videos, my earlier one. 1 bar backspin, 2 side spin, and then playing it off the left fairway there with just a little bit of power right there, but to the left of where he is would just be perfect. The way he's playing it looked like he did 2 backspin. His is going to check up a little bit too much. I don't think he's going to be able to get away with it with his shot. I don't think it's going to run out enough, but let's see. We'll just see. So what he did was 2 backspin. Oh, he didn't even hit the fairway. That's going to be a moot point. But he needed just a touch of power there. That's what I was mentioning before. And I honestly don't think it was going to matter. You can only put 1 backspin there. As soon as you put 2, since there's an upslope, it doesn't run out. I've tested it many times, many ways. And the way that you see me playing that hole is just butter. I mean, it just funnels to the hole, puts it a half. Like he could have, if our roles were reversed, and I had his situation, I probably would have beat my 1.61 shot with the Saturn there. And the most important thing is just, kind of landing it where you see, like if you want to go back and look at, I think it's Tour 5 videos that I've done. If you want to just go back and see where I landed it, if you could just, replicate that landing zone, that's essentially the key of beating me. Like what I just had there on that tiebreaker would be the way to do it. Okay, so you're seeing me put it right up here. This should be plenty safe. You're not going to see me do that aggressive shot. I did the aggressive shot last time. I thought I could get away with it. I thought I could get away with that aggressive shot last time with the wind, and I mishit it and did not pull it off. Getting over there on that left fairway really isn't a real advantage, so I don't even know really why I was going for that shot. I would just say follow where I am, but you also have to be very precise with your bullseyes. Do not miss by too much. This guy can probably get away with it with a great ball there. The curvature of this fairway, he's going to probably be fine. You see? Not really threading in it, but that's kind of just all you're looking for there, is just hitting it to that mound. And you see I got plenty of distance to do any shot I want here. Any shot I want at my disposal. So the way you're going to see me do it is kind of, what do we got there? 5, 6 bars. So you're going to see me do it with 5. And I'm going to make my second bounce right around that fringe. And it should be, if my calculations are correct, hopefully, enough to make that spring forward and go towards the green, or go towards the hole. Just a little extra curl. Perfect ball. Too much. I don't know if I was adding power there when I was doing my slight curl, but it's too much. Wow, this guy already has Cataclysm 1. This is the stuff that mystifies me. It's pretty crazy. 30 million he's already made too. I'm only at 7. Well, that's not too unusual. I'm at 160 games. So Cat 1, he's going to have a little bit of problems with, Cat 1 early on was a challenging club. I kind of benched it for a little bit, to be honest with you. But there were certain times, certain tours, that I would pull it out, but it would be more of the hook tours. So like, for example, if I would have had a Cat 1 for Tour 6, it would, without question, be in my bag. I mean, you saw me with Big Dog 1 be able to work it through that tour. That's just the way that you do it. You need those curl shots. They are so important, and so is distance. Distance is so important in that tour. Distance isn't too much of a factor here. It still is. It'd be nice to be playing with Big Dog, but it's a trade-off. They're the certain holes that I would play better. These ones that I'm hitting these backspin shots, I'd be playing worse. And there's so many backspin shots that it's just not worth the trade-off. Okay, so this is going to be another hard one. I'm going to try to dial it up. I don't know how much spin it is. You're going to try to see me do more of the same thing. The biggest thing I have to do is just avoid catastrophe here. So let's try with 4. But you're going to have to see I'm going to have to go pretty full here. So I can put this guy kind of against the ropes if I hit a good shot, because that's going to mean that he has to hit a good shot too. And that shot, all things considered, should not be beat. Hitting the perfect ball there pretty much all but solidified it. He's going to have to do something very similar. He's not going to be able to stop his Cataclysm. He's just got to hit a crazy shot to beat that. So, maybe he is going to. I thought I remember Cat not having that much backspin. I thought it was only maybe like 2 or 3 coming right off the bat. This guy might actually be able to pull this off. Now, the biggest thing I remember for my Cat was backspin. Or ball trail. No. Yeah, ball trail. It's only at a 2. Which is kind of my bread and butter. I mean, I'm okay with it too. I don't know what he was thinking dumping it there. I don't remember Cataclysm having that much backspin though, but regardless, 2.63 is kind of a deadly shot there. And as you could see, the only way I could even pull that off was with a, full ball. I'm almost wondering if I was just playing a replay there, because there's no reason that he should have hit that shot that bad after watching me, go full power. Like, why would you completely dump it in the bunker like that? Just doesn't make any sense. I don't think it was a legit shot. That was probably pre-recorded or something. And nothing good from that chest, unfortunately. Starting to get down a few gems. It's kind of annoying. And I need to start being a little bit more conscientious with my gems. So it looks like full ball here will definitely be in the fairway. So a couple ways to play this. You're probably going to see me play it full ball. I'm not too worried about, even if I miss, even if for some reason I hit the rough, I'll still be on the green. So you're still going to probably see me go for this shot, but you're going to see me play it more off the white of my bullseye on a shank, just so I get a little bit of that extra hook. You're seeing I'm right off the white of my bullseye. And you see the way that I like to do it is I'll release the other way, so I'll release from left to right. And what I feel like that does is it gives me more of a chance, just in case I release early and I'm more in the bullseye. Whereas when it's coming from outside the ring, like, I'm a little more terrified like if I release early on accident. And plus it's a shorter window to watch. So I feel like if you don't have enough time to watch how fast it's moving, like, you could end up not hitting it as good. So you'll see me, whatever way I'm shanking, whether it's like there I was shanking to right, I'll release left to right. Whereas if I'm shanking the other way, I'll release right to left on the way that the arrow's moving. And that's solely because of what I mentioned, as to just being able to basically watch the arrow, which I think is so critical for me. It really helps me. Okay, so I am going to go for more in here with like a 1. So I think I'm more towards the short end of claw here, maybe mid to short. And again, do not miss left on this shot. It is so critical. You're so okay missing right. Oh no, it hit the collar. Ah. Cost me the possibility of a great shot by hitting the collar and bouncing like that. Unbelievable. It is so easy to just hit a deadly shot on this. Like, that would have been coming in pretty good. This is the one shot that I would really strongly advise you not to do. I cannot believe this guy already has a Tour 9. I mean, that is crazy. Tour 9 claw already. And he only has 1,500 trophies. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. But I would really strongly encourage you not to hit that. Look how aggressive it comes off that slope. So even if you got it behind there, do you really want a ball coming in that aggressive and lipping out? Alright, so I think I have both of these content videos up, and this will be the last content that I have for Tour 7 for you guys. I don't think there's much more shot advice I can give you guys. You guys are seeing exactly how I play these holes. So, all things considered, on a perfect ball, this guy with sniper, unless he holds this out, probably isn't going to beat me. There's almost a 90% chance I'm going to beat this guy straight up. Because he's not going to be able to hit this within 2 yards. Unless he hits the hole. And even if he does hit it within 2, it'll probably be right around 2. And it basically comes down to me just executing. So if you can mimic my shots and my aims, and you'll see I'm just kind of aiming right off the back bunker. The only chance this guy has of beating me is hitting the hole coming down this hill. Otherwise, especially as high up as he's taking it, which I don't know why he's doing that, it's going to slingshot even harder. Which means he's going to be outside of 3. Outside of 3, you should never be. You should never be that far. Now, I give the guy some slack because he is doing it with sniper, and that is very hard. But the fact that you have sniper on, like, this is a hole as to why you shouldn't be playing sniper. Like, this is the definition of a hole as to why you should not be playing sniper on this tour. So, perfect ball. At this point, it's just a formality. There's no way my ball will ever, with a perfect ball, and well, off the pin, of course. Oh, man. So ridiculous. So, okay, so he had a 1 outer, which is me hitting it so dead on accurate, and that's why I do it. So, this actually brings up a good point. Because you see how I'm doing this left to right? I've been trained to do it left to right like this to avoid hitting that pin. And that's something that I never mentioned to you guys before. As to what, so you see how I've been doing this right? I've been doing that left to right intentionally every single time. And that's so it doesn't come in and strike that pin. And plus, also, so it dies on the hill is the other reason. So when you hit that hill, It acts as a backstop and comes down super slow. And he got that 1 in 100 break where I actually hit that pin, because I haven't hit that pin in probably the last 50 playthroughs of that hole. It's probably the last time I hit that. Oh, wow. Talk about getting aggressive. I added just a touch of too much power there. And remember, this is the hole that I might be pushing the limits on Guardian a bit. So what did I do last time? Well, last time I added, since I don't have topspin, I put Titan on, and I didn't do that here. So I don't know what clubs this guy's using, but hopefully, so this is like a hole where using sniper or whatever, anything but Viper and Guardian is a good thing right now. But of course, even Viper's fine if it's at like Tour 8 or Tour 7 by now. Even Viper's okay. But of course, they can always give me the wind and give me a free pass to the hole here. That would be very kind of them. Not meant to be. So now I have a decision to make, because going full ball is probably just hitting the bulk of that green. Do you really want to be in the bulk of the green? And the answer is probably no, you don't. So you're seeing me just hit a great ball here on a half power shot, and I'm just going to hit it halfway up the hill, making sure not to get too close to the green, and then I'm just going to have to go at it with the pitch. There's no other option. They gave this guy right in the face, so he does have what I was mentioning, which is the Viper 8. Since they gave him wind straight in the face, it basically leveled the playing field. He's going to have the same dilemma. He can go for this all he wants, but the best he's probably going to get is curling it on the green, which you don't want to do. So if you do roll it up there on the green, which he wasn't even going to make it there, but if you do roll it up there, you can't get the putt to the hole. So it just lets you know. And then there's a certain spot that you have to get to, and then it becomes full power. So what you're going to see me do here is, I'm going to figure out max distance. Max distance is actually there. So, this is going to play more than it should. Maybe in the neighborhood of, I'm thinking, 2 rings per, give or take. Now, I'm a little worried about that running out like that. And I need 4 rings on top of it, probably. So I'm thinking maybe about there. I feel like this might actually be an overplay, though. I'm going to try to curl it back. So instead of adjusting for my wind, I tried to put on a little curl because I think I overplayed the wind, which I was spot on right being. I was overplaying the wind. And there's 2 indicators. Let me talk about those real quick as to why I thought I might have been overplaying the wind. First, when I was actually looking at my shot trail in relation to the hole, it seemed to be too far away given my distance. It seemed like, so if you want to go back and take a look at how far it actually was, it made me think, well, it's probably not going to come back. And then another reason is when I pull back and look right before I'm about to shoot, when I look at the wind, it just seems to be more pointed towards me than I remember it. So I feel like I changed the angle of the wind too significantly. So that's another indicator that I'll use from time to time. And it's pretty spot on with the combination of those two. Those will be my deciding factors. And so the one thing you can do is you can take You can take the bullseye and you can try to ever so slightly move it to the right, but it's a gamble. So that's why you'll see me right at the end there hit it with a slight curl right to kind of account for that overplay that I did, as opposed to trying to move it ever so slightly, half a yard. So something to keep in mind. Anyway, so I'm going to end this video here. Plenty of good content for you guys to hopefully check out. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys can get better scores on your Tour 7 and can figure out, kind of from my mistakes or your own mistakes, like ways that you can improve your rounds for this tour. If you have any other comments or questions that you need help on any of the shots that I hit, or maybe a different shot that you might be hitting that you think I might be able to help you get through, I would definitely recommend, a bag similar to mine in terms of Guardian at Mile, for sure. I think it's the strongest 2 combo. It all but guarantees. Like, I win a tiebreaker on, you saw me just time and time again, just win every tiebreaker, except for that one fluke on that just last one, where I slammed that pin. It was that guy's only bailout was me slamming that pin. And aside from that, I don't think you've seen me lose one tiebreaker on that hole. Not a single one. It's just showing you like how strong that Guardian is for that hole. It just basically takes my win percentage on that hole to nearly 100%. Like, I don't expect to ever lose that one. And then there's other holes that are very similar, like that other one where it's the other backspin shot that you've been seeing. It just seems to be coming in, right on the hole, and you'll see guys, they're having trouble being able to stop a sniper or whatever they've been using. So just keep that in mind, and keep at it. I'm sure you guys will be able to work through it, and just limit your mistakes. You see, I didn't try to force the issue there. I knew I could eagle from the fairway, so I didn't try to do anything outside the realm of what I felt comfortable with. So you saw me hit a shot right there at the end where I said, you know what, I'll hit it in the fairway, I'll pitch it in. It's the same as putting it in. So just don't overdo the shots, and just work on, honing in how much you have to play for certain. If you end up overplaying something, put it in your memory bank. Next time you come to it, be like, you know what, I was getting to the full end of the club on this one. I went 2 rings on a sit. Like, even if you have to write it down, I actually don't write it down, but if you say to yourself, well, I went, 2.5 rings on a 7 wind and hit a perfect ball, and it went just to the right, for example, or whatever. It was way too much, or it was perfect. Especially on pitches, until you can get a feel. You want to make sure that when you get down in the pitch range, you can at least, burn the edges on those every time. And it's not a very huge wind. I think I adjusted for 4 rings there, even as far as it was almost max club. And I adjusted for like 4 rings, and then I realized that it was too much on that wind. So, just keeping that in mind, that, pitches aren't going to go very much, and the rings are so small that it's like you're only moving it fractions on that green on those small clubs. So just keep all that in mind, and any other comments, or feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Any other thing that you have to add, just feel free to comment, and I'll try my best to reply. Good luck with your Tour 7.